going on, lovelies? What is going on? Welcome. Guys, I don't have my notes. I left my notes at the job, so I'm gonna do the best I can. We're gonna be speaking about Tasha K and Jaguar Wright. So with Tasha K, she's a YouTuber. She's been in the game for quite a few years. I wouldn't say she's an OG in the game because I don't believe she came out way back when YouTube first came on the scene. So, but she has a nice amount of people that followed her and is subscribed to her and go to her for the latest tea. Even though people have said things like, oh, you know, she makes up stories and her sources, her exclusives is fraudulent. You know, she's loud, which is true. Tasha K is very loud. What's up, white eyes? What's going on, white eyes? I'm just like, I'm about to drink. I don't have my cup. I'm about to drink. Let's go pour out this cup of wine, my white eyes. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Woo, that chick is loud. I laugh loud, but damn. You know, I'm just like, woo. But she's entertaining. I think her loudness is what allows her to, you know, just to captivate people and just keep them like wanting to sip some more damn wine. But anyway, Storm Monroe, if you know Storm Monroe, he's also up and coming YouTuber. I say also, he is an upcoming YouTuber on the rise. That guy Storm is, he leaving behind damage all over the place wherever he go. I'm not saying damage in a bad way. I'm just talking about he's Storm. His name is Storm. So he's tearing things up. So he's growing pretty fast. He's growing pretty fast. You know, I watch him too, as well as I watch Tasha K. So he did an amazing job interviewing Jaguar. Okay, so that got him alone 1 million views. Yeah, I saw the interview. It was dope. And so after that, I wasn't expecting Tasha K to do an interview with Jaguar Wright because at first she said at her own mouth she wasn't going to do it. And then later on she came back and said, well, Alicia Keys contacted her and told her, well, you know, confront Jaguar on all the allegations she's saying, you know, and they're not true. So that's why Tasha wanted to bring Jaguar onto her show. So they had the interview, and I have to say, it was a bit much for me. It was a bit much. A lot of information that Jaguar was bringing out personally by herself. It was definitely heartbreaking. I didn't experience anything she experienced as far as like the rapes and so on and so forth like that. Those are horrific stories. And then the questions that Tasha K was asking, you know, like her hymen and how old was she and what they did. Oh my gosh, it was tough. I understand you have to ask tough questions, but I'm just like, no. So what Tasha K is being accused of is being insensitive and not having no type of compassion for Jaguar Wright, and kind of like every time Jaguar Wright says something, she's kind of like, you know, just digging at what she's saying and kind of being combative with her and just debating with her. Well, I don't know because you do this and you do that and you said this and I'm just like, damn that everything. But my thing, what I want to touch on is the stuff that happened in Jaguar's personal life, and I just felt like Tasha could have been show more compassion, just have a little bit more feelings, but I don't think that was her intentions. Now she said, because I watched her show, she said unwinding the lies, and she said basically everything Jaguar said was all lies. That's why she came off cold, insensitive, didn't care, you uninterested, indifferent, because she felt Jaguar Wright was lying. But then it's just like, well, I could tell she wasn't believing her or didn't care about the story when her attitude and her vibe and energy was like, bitch, I don't care what you have to say. It's all lies anyway. But I just felt like that's something they could have discussed. Now, at the very end of their interview, Jaguar Wright still complimented Tasha. You're brilliant. You're doing an amazing job. You know, I can vibe with your show. You know, it's great. You know, you're doing your thing. So I don't understand how now Tasha K is just refuting everything that Jaguar Wright is saying. I don't understand how this whole thing went left. You know, like I said, when Jaguar Wright was telling her story, I'm telling you guys, I'm a crybaby. I cry. I am a crier. I'm very sensitive, and that her story definitely touched me. You know, and I started crying because it wasn't only just Jaguar Wright's story. Jaguar Wright was telling millions of other women's stories and boys' stories. Men, women, boys, and girls' stories. So a lot of people can relate to Jaguar Wright. And I feel for you, I feel for them, and I hope you guys get the help and the treatment, everything you need to get over that trauma. Because to go through that consistently more than once, that I can't imagine the toll it takes on somebody's mental, spiritual, and physical well-being. I just couldn't imagine that. So Tasha K was just like on a whole different level. So she's saying that Jaguar is lying and so on and so forth, so on and so forth. To me, I wasn't really feeling the interview. I could be honest, and I had the right to my opinion, because you guys have the right to your own opinion. I honestly wasn't feeling the interview at all. I felt there should have been more compassion. There should have been more understanding, knowing that happened to you too as well. Okay, I heard what Jaguar Wright was saying. She said that how Jaguar Wright lied about how many times she got raped, but she was speaking about a specific time. But then it looked like what Tasha K was explaining in her Unwinding Lies video. She got things misconstrued when she said what she said about, oh well, she said she got raped this many times, but it wasn't this many times, it was this many times. Like, no, she was speaking about a particular time in her life as a child. But it all together, as in from childhood to adult, it was 10 times. Tasha K said only 7. So it was just a whole bunch of mess. And I'm just like, Jaguar Wright seemed cool. You know, she's a very well speaker, definitely articulate, know what she's talking about. Whether she's lying or telling the truth, if it's all a lie, she has to get the Most High and to be lying like that, because that's something really heavy and deep to lie about, because there's so many people who actually gone through that. So you shouldn't lie on something like that. But honestly, I don't think that Jaguar was lying, to be honest with you. So I don't know if Tasha K will ever be canceled completely. People are saying that, oh, the fall of Tasha K is coming. She's losing subscribers. She has lost subscribers, for what I heard. I didn't recheck for her sub count. I never really did. I know she had over 800,000 subs, and she still do have over 800 subs. It wasn't like she went down 200,000, 300,000. No, she still got a good amount of subscribers. But from what I've heard, she lost tons of subscribers, a lot. And maybe more is still coming. And it's just like, you know, you have to still treat everybody with respect. You know, you may not end, but the Jaguar Wright she gave Tasha K nothing but respect in that interview. Nothing but respect. But Tasha kept speaking about, oh well, you know, are you mentally ill? Maybe your mental illness got you going insane and saying these things. And she's like, no, I'm not mentally ill. I'm not mentally ill. My mother's mentally ill, but I'm not. I just feel like as women, as a people, as a community, we have to be there for one another. We have to look out for one another. We have to have compassion, show love to one another, because in this society, in this kingdom, on this earth, it's hard. We have a lot of people hitting us left and right. So when you have people who that look like us attack us in such a way, it's like, well, come on. I had to deal with other enemies, and then I had to deal with you, and now you're my enemy. You know, at the end of the question, she was asking her like, oh, so where you staying? How much money you making? What you do? Where y'all at? And it's just like, you know, this chick done exposed like how many celebrities? Clive Davis is one of the most famous. Like, what? Like, really? Like, what he was trying to do? So it just sounded very off. It seemed off, the questions and everything like that. I hope Tasha K never does this again. I'm gonna say this: she does do amazing work. Again, I believe she's entertaining. I've been watching her for a little while. Not so much after the whole Lovely Tea situation, But tell me what you guys think about the whole Tasha K and Jaguar Wright situation. I don't want to throw Lovely T in it, but I also like Lovely T's content too as well. They all make great content. Storm Monroe, all of them is doing their doggone thing. I watch to kind of pick up so I can grow and I can do my thing too as well. It's really unfortunate and sad that we have to go through this as a people. It should be a brotherhood, a sisterhood. We may not all agree on the same thing, but we shouldn't have disrespect each other and just turn each other into enemies like that. It shouldn't be that way. You know, we can respectfully agree to disagree and keep it the hell pushing. Alright? So that's the end of this show. I don't know what more to say. I don't know, man. Hopefully Tasha don't do this again. Please, girl. Ooh. Don't do it. Don't do Jaguar Wright like that. You know, she showed you mad respect. She respect your G on your journalism. Respect her G on what the hell she's about and what she does. Period. Alright? So anyway, tell me what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll come back with another one.